Hello, everybody. I am, I suppose I'm Mr. Cannabis on YouTube. Um, by everybody, I mean hello to Zach and to Jolly. Well, only if Jolly's bored. But hello to Zach. Hello. Um, doing a little cast as requested on this 1v1 fight I did against my man Vinny here. He's playing the 28th Infantry on the Axis side, on the left in blue. Which is a relatively strong division. You know, lots of infantry, a few tigers, a few stugs. Um, you know, capable of certainly mounting a good fight. I'm here on the right in the blue in the red team, playing as the Nordland, also Axis. I just love this battle group. It's just so good. Um, just solid units all around. Good infantry, good availability of infantry, good support weapons. You've got access to these Pumas, um, good tanks as well. It's just a really just a great battle group in my mind. He was playing on balanced, and I was playing on Vanguard, so it does leave it up to me to do the majority of the pushing straight away. Of course, we are playing on Lenina, and as you can see from here, all of the flags really are in this central area. If you control this city, you're going to win the fight effectively. So, stacking pretty heavily, a lot of units in the middle, getting ready to mount a challenge, and off we go. Got a few infantry moving to the south, and I look like I'm just going to sort of hold on the north really with an MG, an infantry gun, and a Pack 40. Immediately, he's sending in two of these fighters and a recon plane as well. Looks like he's trying to just strafe any targets coming in. It looked like it was actually an attack ground order there. It didn't look like he targeted anything in particular, so you know, he must have known what he was doing. He'd clearly played 1v1s on this map before. And on the back of that as well, this recon plane had 4 50-kilo bombs. That was close. I just managed to get the infantry out of their transports in time, because I reckon if I hadn't done that, I could have lost them. For sure, I could have lost 2 or 3 straight off the bat. But they are pinned down, of course, which does delay them getting to the town. So I'm in a bit of a sticky situation here. I've only got 2 infantry that have managed to get through without getting pinned down. I've got my Pumas in position here. They're really just here to try and snipe anything. If there were any transports rushing down this road, the Puma would be able to take them out. But it doesn't look like he is. He's just setting up, if he wears a Strupen, pretty defensively, which maybe is a little mistake. If he'd clocked that he'd managed to pin down all these infantry of mine, he may have realised it would have been advantageous just to push up. I got my Puma here engaging a Stog 3 F8, which isn't really an optimal engagement, although I do get a little penetrating shot there. But the worry is that a Stog 3 can just easily one-hit a Puma like that. These Pumas are 2-star, they do have the veterancy, which just makes them super accurate. They've got 60% accuracy. I don't know whether that is with the veterancy or whether that goes up to 75%. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's pretty good. So the infantry are pushing up now. I do have an infantry gun in place here, and a Pack 40 and an infantry gun here, so I have invested relatively heavy on units just to help me form a line, really. Just in case, you know, my push early on failed because of whatever reason, you know, maybe his recon planes did the damage for whatever reason. I wanted to have something to help me form a line, and these guys are going to do it. They've got good watch onto the town from up here, even though they're facing the wrong way. Classic Steel Division, classic Steel Division way. I did invest pretty heavily after seeing those fighters and the recon plane. I was thinking I didn't want to be getting strafed all game. I didn't want to be, you know, getting battered by planes. So I've got 3 Flak 36 onto the field. Stug 4 engaging with a Stug 3. Unfortunately, that missed. Do get the kill. This double veterancy does buff the accuracy a fair bit. which makes them quite lethal, to be fair. You know, 135mm pen and 100mm of armor. They're pretty solid. These Stugs are going to do well at holding lines like this. Not going to be too effective at, you know, pushing up and trying to deal with units on the flank like a Sherman or a Panzer IV, just because they don't have a rotating turret. But they're good for holding in this way. I've got a couple of them on, so I did lose one of my Pumas. I backed this other one out just to watch in case there were any units pushing through this swamp over here. He's got a unit of Grenadiers in this forest. I think we're both just happy just to sit, really, on the north and the south and focus on engaging in the middle. So the infantry now starting to fight. Panzer Grenadiers versus Grenadiers. This is a little bit sneaky. I didn't notice this until I started playing this game. You notice these Grenadiers here, they have a Panzerfaust and they have an anti-tank emblem because of the fact they have a Panzerfaust. These Panzer Grenadiers, they also have a Panzerfaust, the MG26 variants, but they don't come up with a little icon, which is maybe a little bit misleading. If I was playing, if Vinny here, he might look at these guys on the face of it and think, okay, well, they're not going to be a threat to my tanks. They don't have a tank buster icon. It's only if you go in close and actually manually look at what they have, you're going to notice that they do have a Panzerfaust and they're going to be a threat. So, a bit of a weird one by Eugen there. I think they probably will patch that because that just seems a little bit it's not broken. It's just a bit of a bug, I think, to be honest. A bit of an oversight by them. The Flak 36 did a good job just keeping the aircraft at bay. Not that they were doing any real damage. I wasn't really worried about the fighters. I was more worried about bombers. Normally, when a player starts bringing in aircraft, it's a sign of things to come. That Messerschmitt does go down absolutely miles away. I don't know what killed it. Must have been one of the Flak 36s over here somehow. I'm amazed it got the kill. Big engagement in this town. It's really just a case of whoever is pushing at the moment is losing the fight, because we've got a lot of defensive units. I think, what was that? I think my Stug just got a nice kill there on his Stug. So I've got my Pioneer Fuhrer here now, giving the veteran seat. It's now got three stars, 3 chevrons. It's going to be really, really accurate, doing the work in the city for sure. I'm starting to build up a few forces back here now just to get ready for a push. Got an Aufklärer, which is going to go into this church. A few of these SPWs, which are perfect in a city like this, just to clean up infantry. They're going to give me the edge, basically. Any infantry hiding in buildings, they're going to get absolutely battered by these fellas. Stug 4, I think it missed that Stug 3, or whether it was aiming for the anti-tank gun, I don't know, but either way, paid the price. So I have lost a couple of vehicles, but so has he, so we've been trading relatively well. I am winning the fight at this point, 13-11, but of course I need that to be a bit faster. I need to get a double tick as quickly as possible because I am playing Vanguard. He's going to have a hell of a lot more availability when it gets to phase C, so I need to start pushing. I think another SPW just went down there to this Cis gun, so I'm not having much luck down this middle area here. But it is exposed at the moment, this Cis gun. I've got 2 Panzer Grenadiers firing on it, so that's going to go down. The SPW is pushing up. This Panzerschreck probably could have been more helpful if I'd microed it to go potentially into that building and then along and then into here. But it's just sitting there guarding the road and allowing this Stug to shoot, and the Stug's doing the damage here, taking out my Stug 4. The Puma's pushing up. Stug's facing the complete wrong way. One shot by the Puma, as you'd expect. You'll love to see it. And now he's looking a bit light all of a sudden on tanks of his own. The Aufklärer in position now. These Aufklärer being in here, that gives me a massive advantage for fighting in this city. Being able to see units, I think I've got a good sight on any units like this backside here. It's really, really advantageous to me. So looking a little bit light on infantry on this side. I think I recognise that. Bringing in a few more pioneers. Got flak 41 now. Zach, you'd be pleased to see. Just going to deal with any tanks pushing in across, just in case there is anything that wants to make its way along here. Got our Panzergrenz in the town, but they are now engaging with the Stug 3 and these Fusiliers, which isn't an optimal fight. The Stug 3 is going to tear them apart in these little wooden houses, so it's certainly not ideal. Gone for an aggressive push there, those Grenadiers, but they do get them out in time. I can't really reinforce the Grenadiers by bringing this SPW across because of that Stug, so I need to find a way of dealing with that Stug as soon as possible. In fact, not just the one Stug, we've now got a Stug 3G, a Stug 3E and two Panzer II Lukes. So potentially this Panzer Shrek could come up and help me out. But here we go. Panzer 3s, sorry, the Panzer 2s and a Stug 3 pushing up. I think that's the Panzerfaust. Got the kill on the Stug there. So this is what I'm saying, my opponent may not have noticed that they have Panzerfaust simply because they're not displayed, so getting a bit caught out there. Panzer Shrek on the other hand, most definitely displayed. That's two tanks down that reload relatively quickly. Panzer 2 going to try and back away, but now trying to stand its ground and to take the fight. Does knock it down to one man, but the Panzer Shrek gets the kill, finishes him off. Good value from that Panzer Shrek for a 20-point unit. Just took out a, I don't know what a Stug 3E costs, but these certainly cost 35 each, so that's 70. Probably about 150 points from a 20-point unit, so making good value there. My Puma losing the fight there to the Stug, that's just the worry with these Pumas. They are going to lose out to a hard-hitting Stug like that. Bombing this SPW forward, this doesn't look like the right move, to be honest, especially with that Stug there. Now that's going to go down as well. So I have lost a lot of vehicles, but I am still winning 14 to 10. The Panzer Shrek is now finally coming up and going to hopefully try and get in position, but that Grenadier is going to make short work of it. I didn't think I knew that was in there. Off map going to come down in 40 seconds. It's funny because around about this time I was just thinking I really wish I had some off map to try and break up this cluster of units, and evidently Vinny was thinking the same. And as you can see, I've got a lot of infantry in the area of effect, so that could do a lot of damage. I do have some mortars in place just to try and help me dislodge some of the units in the houses. And I do have a Panther now back here, just watching this road. Not really optimal engagement for a Panther. There's a few places on this map that really are, because there's so much of the open ground is just split up by light forest and buildings. But this seems like one of the most advantageous positions I can get. It's still just over 1,000 meters though, which that Stug 3 is going to be able to do the damage within 1,000 meters. So I've got to be careful, but it's just sitting back and watching anything that pushes down the road. The off map coming down did take out Panzer Shrek, I think, pinning down a lot of my infantry. So that is certainly going to hurt. Mortars coming down now as well. I think this SPW, yeah, that's going to go down to this Panzer II, but I do have the Panzer Shrek in place. Might be able to trade off that one. Yep, so that's an advantageous win for me. The Pioneer throwing its frag shells. In a way, that almost saved the Panzer II, because if it stayed where it was, this Panzer Shrek would have got it. So, if I were better at micro in there, I would have turned that off. But alas, I am not. I think I've got these mortars firing on the Stug. Oh no, they're on fire at will, so that would explain it. Second off map coming down. I don't know how many charges this thing has, but it managed to get 2 off, that's for sure. Now I'm starting to reinforce, bring a bit more armour. I do have the double tick because I managed to push and take this flag. That Stug went down. I think that was to the Stug over here. So that's a good trade. I think my Afklarer has managed to spot this off-map vehicle back here, even though this is definitely where, if I were him, I would think it's out of sight of everything. It certainly seems to be out of sight, but the mortars, they're going to be able to start shooting on it. And this isn't an armoured vehicle. All it's going to take is a single well-placed mortar, and that's going to go down. I don't know if I actually got the kill or not. Ooh, it's close. I do indeed. So that's a good kill. I think that was 140, 170 points. I can't remember, but if it had another charge, then that's great. If not, then you know it's just one less vehicle with a radio, so it could be worse. Off map going down. I think he was planning to push forward with these Stern Pioneers through and everything that was pinned down, but it's not all the units got pinned down. These Pioneers are gonna offer a bit of resistance. If they get close enough to use their flamethrowers, which they are here, yeah, they're gonna dislodge, but the HE frag goes off. Takes out one Stern Pioneer. I don't know what just took a bomb or hurt that. Ah, it would be the 305mm howitzers. So, bit of a weird one, this. He was probably thinking the same as me, he just needed something to dislodge units from buildings. Quite a big investment though, 75 points each. Not really the, you know, what you're going to want in a 1v1. 375 point bits of artillery, unless you really have to. So risky move to try and get value from them. They're not really going to kill that much, just going to suppress units. So, but he needs something, because he's probably thinking in phase C he can start hitting me hard. If he can start trying to level the buildings, he can make it easier. Stug 3, oh, one shot in his Stug 3. 3-star veterancy, being supported by this Pioneer Führer, making all the difference. And it is still 15 to 9. I have pushed up on this south side with two Panzergrens and 2 Flammenwerfers. Gives me that one extra flag. If I hadn't done that, it would still be a single tick at the moment. Thinking of doing something similar on this north side with these 2 Panzergrens. He's only got 1 unit of Erzestruppen, which are not going to offer a whole lot of resistance. These will most definitely win the fight. Tiger E fighting off against the Stug. That bounce. Oh. Yeah, hate to see it. That bounce really did cost me. But it did get a driver kill and we got a penetrating shot, so that's not going to require a whole lot more damage before it goes down. I'm going to bring the Panther D up to try and support now, because with that Stug going down, I don't have anything really watching this road in the centre. So I've got 3 Stugs and a Panther D guarding this city, which is a pretty good return, a pretty good build up. And here we go. We do have the jet bomber, and this is the one with the 1-ton bomb and the 2 500 kilo bombs dropping on this area here. Oh, and it's beautiful. I think the Stug got the kill on the Tiger, but the 3 infantry, they certainly went down because of the bomb, so that was beautiful. I didn't actually cue the evacuate straight after bombing. Shout out to Jolly there for showing me how to do that. So thank you, Jolly. So, I mean, they cost 140, I think, those bombers, and it just took out, you know, between 120 and 150 worth of points, so in a single bombing run. So definitely worth, in my opinion. And it's going to open it up for my Stug to push in now and just watch this road. Anything reinforcing is going to really struggle. This Panther, it is watching anything coming down this hill right now, which is a good position for it, making the most of its 2-kilometer range. All that Vinny now has left in the city, really, it's just this cluster of units, which is getting fired on by the Flak 4188. Maybe in hindsight, this infantry gun could have moved up to help put a beat down. Probably would help there for sure. This Stug 3 in a really good spot, forcing these grenadiers to unload on the road, and going to get pinned down by the MG. not too far, this Grenadier now, from being able to use its Panzerfaust. And I think hopefully I recognise that. Oh dear, and a Tiger E now. Oh, the Stug 3, that's a great penetrating shot. And then backing out, I think, yep, back out just in time for the Tiger E to not return fire, and probably just in time because this Grenadier was about to blow it up with its Panzerfaust as well. So that's going to go back and sit back inside this on this road. So to the right there to notice that. Now got this Stug 3 in position as well. That's in the light cover on the Tiger E. Gets the bounce. Again, 2-star veteran seat. Both capable of just one-shotting each other now. Down it goes. It did get a penetrating shot off on the Stug. Not taking too much damage actually, but did certainly hit. And now that Tiger E's gone down, all I really have to do is remove this Grenadier and I can get the Stug back into position. The Panther D I've now moved to watch this road here. It's got making the most of its 2-kilometer range. Anything coming down this road is going to be forced to unload or shoot back at the Panther, which is not ideal. I rate these things to take on a Tiger at range and certainly a Stug. I've now managed to get my MG in position here, watching anything pushing on the south, which is actually a good decision because it's got visuals on the Grenadiers. That's one down. Still going to carry on firing. This Stug though, I'm going to try and dislodge it. Takes out the building in fact, so that's going to have to find a new spot to sit in. Another MG in here. I'm just making it really, really difficult now for Vinny to regain a foothold in the city. On the south, I've got my Flammenwerfers and the Panzergrenadiers pushing up to take one extra flag. I didn't know what was in here, but I was confident it wasn't going to be able to stand up to an attack like this. I think another bomber just came down, and there we go, takes out the Stug with its 1-ton bomb. It landed just behind it, so whether that affects it or not, I'm not sure. I've got the Panther firing on the Stug. I think it took out one of them, and this is just what I want. And there it goes. So that Panther taking out 2 Stugs on the road. Pretty ideal. He did actually bring in a mortar, the 210mm. I think it's just a last resort now, to be honest, because he's not really got much left. And this is a great unit. I didn't even know that 28th Infantry had access to the mortar, but I think it's a little bit too late to be honest. And indeed it is. My man Vinny surrenders 21 minutes 19 seconds in, gives me the major victory. Clearly he thought I must have done enough damage in phases A and B for him to warrant surrendering. I didn't look like there was any chance of him getting back into it. So commiserations to Vinny. I got over twice as many kills looking at it, so certainly a fair result. Maybe I could have pushed even more aggressively to win the fight earlier, but hindsight is a beautiful thing. But anyway, well played to Vinny. Maybe see him again on ladder. So ta-ta and farewell.